A sunny day in Dallas, November 22nd, 1963. An open limousine, a smiling presidential couple, and crowds lining the streets. Then, a single shot, followed by another. Chaos, screaming, and an image that froze America in its tracks forever. The official story is simple. A young president, John F. Kennedy, was killed by one man, Lee Harvey Oswald, an unstable lone gunman with a rifle. End of story. But is it really? Could such a massive shift in the course of world history truly be the work of one frustrated, isolated individual? Or should we ask the question criminologists and historians have been asking for centuries? Who stood to gain? Because when you look closely at the political landscape of that era, the picture of the lone gunman starts to blur, and in its place appears an entire shadow theater where everyone had a motive. There was the Mafia, which hated Kennedy, especially his brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy, for launching an unprecedented war on organized crime. For them, the president's death was not only revenge, but a matter of business survival. There was the CIA, humiliated after the Bay of Pigs disaster and enraged at the president who threatened to splinter it into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds. Many within the agency viewed him as naive and too soft on communism, someone who posed a threat to national security. And then there were the powerful players in the military-industrial complex. Kennedy had begun pushing toward détente in the Cold War, signed the Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, and, crucially, was reportedly considering withdrawing U.S. advisors from Vietnam. His death opened the path to escalating the conflict, which brought enormous profits to weapons manufacturers and strengthened the position of the military hawks. It was his successor, Lyndon B. Johnson, who plunged America into full-scale involvement in the Vietnam quagmire. The Mafia? The CIA? The arms lobby? Or perhaps even the vice president, who in a single moment assumed all the power. The official one-shooter version seems almost comforting in its simplicity. But maybe the truth is far darker. Maybe Kennedy's death wasn't a random act of a madman, but a carefully calculated operation. A brutal turning point that pushed history onto a completely different track. The death of a man who stood in the way of too many powerful forces at once.